everyone and welcome to Literature Siksha CUET PG 2025 English Literature online course demo class. Make sure to follow Literature Siksha on YouTube and Instagram for more such important content. First thing first, we have the syllabus. अगर आप किसी भी एग्जाम की प्रिपरेशन कर रहे हैं, syllabus is your guide. Especially if we talk about literatures, the syllabus is so vast. So आपको क्या करना है, for any competition, for any exam, if you are preparing, the syllabus of that particular exam will keep your preparation on track. So CUAT PG English Literature syllabus, first topic we have history of English and Indian literatures. Now you'll notice here that we don't only have history of English but also Indian literatures. So Indian literatures occupy the literatures that are written in different languages of Indian subcontinent. There is, for example, we have Hindi, we have Sanskrit and other regional languages and dialects, and the literature written in these languages are also a part of the syllabus. Generally क्या होता है, the syllabus only includes the history of the particular language in which you are studying the literature. For example, यहाँ पे हम लोग इंग्लिश लिटरेचर की बात कर रहे हैं, so we will only focus on history of English literature. But in this syllabus, it is clearly mentioned that Indian literatures. That is why for students who have appeared last year, they must know there were questions from हिंदी लिटरेचर. तो हम लोग को क्या सारी ही लिटरेचर्स को डीपली पढ़ना है? नहीं, वी ओनली नीड टू फोकस ऑन मेन लैंग्वेजेस एंड मेन की पॉइंट्स ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर लैंग्वेज. हिंदी लिटरेचर की बात कर रहे हैं तो उसके सिर्फ की पॉइंट्स पढ़ने हैं. अगर हम संस्कृत लिटरेचर की बात करें तो उसके भी सिर्फ की पॉइंट्स पढ़ने हैं, उसको पूरा पढ़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. सो अप नेक्स्ट वी हैव इंडियन राइटिंग्स इन इंग्लिश. अब इंडियन राइटिंग्स इन इंग्लिश का क्या मतलब है? मतलब जो भी वर्क्स इंडियन राइटर्स ने लिखे हैं उसको इंग्लिश में पढ़ना है. This will also include original works of writers like, Toru Dutt, Mahesh Dattani. These are all some Indian writers who wrote in English language. All right. Next up we have literary terms and literary genres. नाउ ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है आप लोगों के लिए समझने के लिए, बिकॉज लिटरेरी टर्म्स एंड लिटरेरी जॉनर्स विल फॉर्म द बेसिक, द फाउंडेशन of your understanding of the particular subject. Now what happens, sometimes we take literary terms and literary genres very lightly. We say कि इसमें क्या है, बहुत ही easy सा है, हो जाएगा. But actually when you go into the depths of literary terms and literary genre, only then you will be able to understand the history of English literature very well. Not only history of English literature but other literatures or other topics that you will study in this syllabus for the particular examination. Only with the understanding of literary terms and literary genres you will be able to completely understand the topic. So these two are very important, and a good amount of questions are also made from these two topics. But the trick here is the questions are not very easy, the very not surface level questions. The questions are asked from this topic from little bit depth. तो आपको इन टॉपिक्स को बहुत ही अच्छे से डेप्थ में पढ़ना पड़ेगा टू स्कोर very well in these topics. All right. Up next we have comparative literature and translation studies. For example, if there is a work written originally in Kannada language by an Indian writer, okay, and then someone else translated it into English, then it will be called as translated work. ठीक है, you can translate it any language, वो अलग बात है, but the work should be written in a different language and then translated into a different language, तभी वो work translation के अंडर आएगा. Now comparative literature and translation studies दोनों में कई सारे theories, main concepts ये होते हैं, एंड दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. ऐसा नहीं है कि आपने सिर्फ कुछ वर्क्स पढ़ लिए, उनका ट्रांसलेशन किसने किया ये पढ़ लिया. यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ दैट कंसेप्ट्स आर अप्लाइड इन ट्रांसलेशन. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अगर ये जो एक लैंग्वेज जिससे हम ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हैं वर्क को, इसको बोलते हैं सोर्स लैंग्वेज। फिर जिसमें हम ट्रांसलेट कर रहे हैं इसको बोलते हैं टारगेट लैंग्वेज। सो यू शुड नो व्हाट इज सोर्स लैंग्वेज, व्हाट इज टारगेट लैंग्वेज, एंड यू विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड ऑल दिस इफ यू study the theories, the concepts of particular topics, both translation studies and comparative literature properly. Up next, we have literary criticism and theory. Literary criticism and theory is very important again. See, all this syllabus is very important. These are only important points that are mentioned in the syllabus of CUET PG English literature, and this is the official syllabus, by the way, given by NTA. But amongst these topics also, some topics are very very important, and one of these is literary criticism theory. ये टॉपिक टफ भी है समझने में, बिकॉज लिटरेरी थ्योरीज आर नॉट वेरी इजी टू अंडरस्टैंड, बट इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड देम वंस इट विल बी very very easy for you to fetch marks from this topic, and this will help you easily to get 8 to 10 questions from both these topics, literary criticism and theory. इतने questions तो आने ही आने हैं आपके एग्जामिनेशन में. The only difference you will have is the difficulty level of question. That may vary, but 8 to 10 questions easily come from this particular topic, especially now when we only have part B. Part A हट गया है, उसका डिटेल वीडियो में अलग से बना दूंगी, टॉकिंग अबाउट द स्ट्रक्चर एंड एवरीथिंग ऑफ CUET PG 2025 एग्जामिनेशन. फॉर नाउ लेट्स कम बैक टू syllabus. Up next we have awareness of current literary trends, events and awards. तो इसका क्या मतलब है, you need to understand कि current time में, modern time में, प्रेजेंट टाइम में क्या लिटरेरी ट्रेंड्स चल रहे हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल वर्स ड्रामा बहुत ही फेमस हुआ था बीच में, उसके बारे में आपको पता होना चाहिए. ऐसे ही जो और ट्रेंड्स हैं उनके बारे में पता होना चाहिए. लेटेस्ट इवेंट्स क्या हैं, स्पेशली अवार्ड्स. अवार्ड्स करेंट टाइम के बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं, चाहे वो नोबेल प्राइज हो, चाहे साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड हो, ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट होते हैं फॉर द पर्टिकुलर एग्जामिनेशन. ये सारी ही चीजें जो आपको CUET PG 2025 इंग्लिश लिटरेचर ऑनलाइन कोर्स लिटरेचर शिक्षा आपको ऑफर कर रहे हैं, ये सारी ही चीजें आपको उसमें मिलती हैं. तो आपको इस कोर्स में क्या क्या मिलता है, सबसे पहले कोर्स की ड्यूरेशन 6 मंथ है, और ये एग्जाम आपका मोस्ट प्रोबेबली मार्च में ही होगा अगर लास्ट टाइम का पैटर्न फॉलो किया गया. एग्जाम के पहले तक की फरवरी तक आपको पूरा पूरा कोर्स आपका चलेगा, जो विच मीन्स यू विल बी फ्रेशली प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर योर एग्जामिनेशन. ऐसा नहीं है कि कोर्स दिसंबर में खत्म हो जाएगा और आपका एग्जाम मार्च में होगा, तो आप बहुत ही फ्रेशली प्रिपेयर होंगे एग्जाम के लिए. You will have live classes, which means there will be face-to-face interaction between us, and you can ask questions, you can clear your doubts during the class and even after the class whenever it suits you. क्लासेस जो होंगे वो 3 टाइम्स अ वीक होंगे, ऑल्टरनेट डेज पे होंगे, मंडे वेंसडे फ्राइडे पे. नाउ दिस इज बिकॉज यू शुड ऑल्सो गेट टाइम टू प्रिपेयर योर करंट एग्जामिनेशन. करंट सिलेबस में आप जो भी इनरोल हैं, जो भी कोर्स आप कर रहे हैं, आप BA कर रहे हैं, BSc कर रहे हैं, आप कुछ भी कर रहे हैं, यू वॉन्ट टाइम फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर कोर्स एज वेल. ऑल्सो इट विल गिव यू टाइम कि जो भी आपको नोट्स मिल रहे हैं क्लास में उसको आप रिवाइज कर सके. इफ यू हैव एनी डाउट्स यू कैन आस्क मी, and you can even prepare your own notes and send them to me to see if there is any correction or anything that you want help with. Next up we have class notes. तो आपको class notes provide किए जाएंगे. Even if you miss a few classes you will have these class notes जिन पे आप depend कर सकते हैं. So even if you have missed a few classes due to any emergency, due to any reason, you can depend on these class notes to give you a summarized version and proper accurate key points of the topics that we have discussed in the class. Though I would not recommend skipping class in general, because it will help you understand the topic better. अब नेक्स्ट वी हैव मॉक टेस्ट. ये आपको प्रिपेयर करेगा आपके प्रॉपर एग्जामिनेशन के लिए, ये मॉक टेस्ट आपको प्रिपेयर करेगा. We will have these mock tests during different time periods between our online course. आपका सिर्फ लास्ट में नहीं होगा, different time periods में आपके मॉक टेस्ट कंडक्ट कराए जाएंगे to ensure that you are learning properly and you can also evaluate yourself through them. अब नेक्स्ट जो बहुत बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, दैट इज प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स फ्रॉम 22 to 24, एंड हियर इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट, अरेंज्ड टॉपिक वाइज. मतलब जितने भी टॉपिक्स अभी आपने सिलेबस में देखे हैं उस टॉपिक्स के हिसाब से ये जो क्वेश्चन पेपर है, प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन पेपर्स हैं, इनको अरेंज किया जाएगा. नाउ दिस विल help you to understand two things, very important two things. First, that how many questions are they generally asking from a particular topic, and second, as NTA is evolving and increasing the difficulty level of their questions day by day, year by year, they are increasing the difficulty level. You will also understand that how the question pattern is evolving year by year. मतलब किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस को पहले पूछा जा रहा था उसी टॉपिक से, बट अब किस तरीके के क्वेश्चंस पूछे जा रहे हैं उसी टॉपिक से. दिस विल help you a lot, and trust me, I provided this same thing last year in my previous batch as well, and it was very very helpful for students to understand it. Next, you have personal guidance and growth monitoring. So I'll personally guide you according to your needs, according to your preparation level. Each student will get personalized guidance from me depending upon your needs. And growth monitoring, there will be occasional checks during the course जिससे मैं आपकी growth को personally monitor करूंगी. You will also have an access to a private telegram group in which only batch students will be allowed. Now this will give you an atmosphere where you can be with the students who have same mindset, you share same goal. So it will help you improve your preparation as well, but also there will be a little bit of competition between each one of you, so it will enhance your preparation level. So to enroll in this course, you need to only WhatsApp on 9696836433. If you have any inquiries, make sure you comment down below and I will answer to them. Now let's just quickly start with our demo class with first topic, that what is literature. Now you are studying English literature, right? You are going to appear in the entrance exam for master's levels in English literature, but you don't know what is literature, what is English literature. So that is why foundations are important. That is why basic understanding of concepts is important. So first thing first, what is literature? The word literature is derived from a Latin word litera, which means writing formed with letters. So this is a very basic, you can say, understanding of the term literature. Very basic, very layman understanding. Now you know that it is derived from a Latin word. So literature जो term है कहाँ से derive हुआ? From a Latin word which is litera. और litera का meaning क्या है? That is writing form with letters. That is alphabets. Right? Now this is very basic, that anything that can be written in with alphabets, is it literature? Then we will try to define literature in a little bit more depth. Literature can be defined as books and other written works, those considered to have a creative and artistic value. अब यहाँ पे key points क्या है? Creative and artistic value. Any work that we find in a written format, or it is a book, but it also need to have creative and artistic value to be qualified as literature. मान लीजिए कोई भी एक legal document है आपके पास, will it qualify as literature? No, because it doesn't have creative or artistic values. में creator की, writer की imagination नहीं है, that contain just facts, so that will not be called as literature. Literature के लिए creativity and artistic value बहुत important है for any work to be called as literature. Next up we have, there are two types of literature. First is oral and written. सो ओरल एंड रिटन लिटरेचर में डिफरेंस क्या है, मैं आपको बेसिकली बताती हूँ. इट इज बिलीव दैट ऑल लिटरेचर वर ओरिजिनली इन ओरल फॉर्म, विच मीन्स ट्रांसमिटेड थ्रू स्पीच. राइटिंग फॉर्मेट बहुत बाद में है, दे वर रिटन डाउन अ लॉट लेटर. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ देर इज अ सॉन्ग or a story of a legend or any other thing like that, it was transmitted to one generation to another through speech. बोल के समझाया जाता था, बोल के वो ट्रांसमिट किया जाता था. So all literatures in that format were oral. Then what happened? They were written down later on. Why? Because that things, the literature that we know now should not get lost in time. They should be transmitted to future generations and many generations ahead of them, right? Not only one generation, two generation, but many future generations. That is why there was the need to write down the literature. Then what happened? Then this oral literature, all these things, songs, stories, ये लिखना चालू किया गया. They were written down, and then came written literature or written form of literature. So what comes under oral literature? Genre of literature meant to be spoken or sung. That is what I said right now. Oral literature is meant to be spoken or sung. On the other hand, Written literature is considered to be an art form. It is creative, especially in form of poetry, prose and drama. Now poetry, prose and drama, these are other genres of literature which we will discuss further in the video. Next up we have, it is a method of recording, preserving and transmitting knowledge and entertainment through art forms like poetry, prose, drama, fiction, etc. So what literature is also, it is a method of recording, preserving and transmitting what? Knowledge and entertainment. Now take an example of present time. We live in 21st century, right? Now whatever literary work, whatever literature we will write down, we will record it. Okay, when we write down, we record it. When it we keep it safe, we preserve it, and we when we pass on to future generations or to other people of our same generation, we transmit it. So इससे क्या हो गया? Literature becomes a method through which आप data को record कर सकते हैं, you can preserve it and also transmit it through art forms. Now this is very important, you can only do it through art forms. See, literature is an art form and it talks through other art forms like poetry, prose, drama, fiction, etc. All these art forms, through these only we can transmit knowledge and entertainment. We can record it, we can preserve it. So that is another benefit of literature, and it is also another aspect through which you can see literature. Next up, we have prose, poetry, and drama are the three major forms of literature. These genres are further divided into subgenres. So, जो ये prose है, poetry है, drama है, ये three major forms of literature है. ये three major genres of literature हैं, जो कि further divided हैं. These genres are also further divided into subgenres. Now, the trick here is that these subgenres are also referred to as genres sometimes. Okay, so it's completely fine if we say poetry is a genre. It is a genre of literature, it is a kind of literature. Now if we have different kind of poetry, for example A, then A is a subgenre of poetry, but it is also an individual genre in itself. ये थोड़ा सा tricky है, we will understand this in our next slide when we will discuss about genres. So what is a literary genre? The word genre is a French word. तो कौन सा word है ये? French word meaning kind or sort. अब ये kind दयावान वाला kind नहीं है. Please ensure that this means a type. ठीक है? A category, a type of, which also means sort. It normally describes a category of literature. ये important है. What genre describes? A category of literature, music or other art forms, whether spoken or written, based on some stylish criteria. तो अब जॉनर किसी को भी कह सकते हैं. ठीक है, इट बेसिकली मीन्स अ कैटेगरी. कैटेगरी किसकी हो सकती है? लिटरेचर की हो सकती है, म्यूजिक की हो सकती है, किसी भी अदर आर्ट फॉर्म की हो सकती है. वो अब ये आर्ट्स जितनी भी है ना, दे कैन बी स्पोकन और रिटन. ठीक है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल if you sing a different kind of a song, in singing there are different kind of song that will come as a different genre. For example, rap is very different than classical singing, so that these are two different genres. These are spoken. अब हम बात करें written. So when we write something, for example, when we read a newspaper and when we read story, these two are different genres of literature. तो क्या है? अलग अलग क्राइटेरिया है. देयर आर डिफरेंट क्राइटेरिया थ्रू विच we understand or classify literary genres. Now this was a basic understanding of what is genre. Now you need to understand what is a literary genre. When we say the term literary, it automatically means written down. So when we talk about written down things, it comes under literature. So literary genre is a particular style or type of literature that can be recognized because of its special characteristics. Each genre will have its different special characteristics. वो overlap कर सकते हैं, but there will be something that will differentiate one genre with another genre. Genres may be determined by literary techniques, tone, content और even length. तो यहाँ पे जो literature में genres हमारे पास होते हैं, जिनको हम literary genres कहते हैं, they can be also determined through literary techniques. There are different techniques that we use in literature. They also come under literary terms. We study these techniques under literary terms. Tone, मतलब व्हाट टाइप ऑफ टोन यू आर यूजिंग, आप किस तरीके का साउंड प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं. लाइक वी हैव डिफरेंट टोन्स व्हेन वी प्रोड्यूस different emotion or when we present different emotions, right? So if you are angry, generally your tone will go high. If you are sad, generally you will tone will go low, right? So these kind of tone जो कि सेट होता है, what kind of sounds you are relating to the work, what kind of sound you are understanding from the work, आपको वर्क से किस तरीके का टोन समझ में आ रहा है, वो हैप्पी टोन है, सैड टोन है, किस तरीके का टोन है, वो आपको समझ में आएगा. That can also classify a genre. Content, what type of content you are using, and even length, what is the length of the particular genre, what is the length of the particular work, will also help you identify the genre of the particular work. Up next, we have genre began as a classification system for ancient Greek literature. ये बड़ा important है. How genres came in English literature. तो these started as a classification system. मतलब किसी भी चीज को classify करना, works को classification system से genres came into existence in Greek literature. ठीक है. और ये किसने set किए rules? Set by Aristotle. Aristotle was a Greek philosopher. Okay, so he wrote a work known as Poetics. This is his very famous work, Poetics. In this particular work, ठीक है, उन्होंने लिटरेचर को तीन कैटेगरीज में डिवाइड किया. So we had these three literary genres in the beginning, that is poetry, prose and drama, which is also known as performance. So Aristotle ने क्या किया? In his work this Poetics, he gave each genre, poetry, prose, and drama. Each genre specific design features. What he did was he gave certain rules to each genre. So he said that if a work particularly follows these rules, it will come under this particular genre. If it follows these particular rules, it will come under this particular genre. Right? तो अगर मीटर फॉलो कर रहा है, राइम रिदम फॉलो कर रहा है, it will come under poetry. So genres are basically different categories of each kind of work. All right. Next thing is this particular chart. Now this chart is basic classification of literature. ठीक है, तो इसमें आपको पता चलेगा about literary genres. Okay. Okay. So first thing that we have is literature. We know that literature is classified into oral literature and written literature. ये हम लोगों ने डिस्कस किया था. ओरल लिटरेचर में क्या आता है? देयर आर सॉन्ग्स, फोक टेल्स, लेजेंड्स, जो स्टोरीज सुनाई जाती थी हम लोगों को पहले से अबाउट अ वॉरियर और अबाउट अ विच और एनीथिंग, एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ स्टोरी, एनी सॉन्ग, एनी लोरियां जो ललबाइज होती हैं, that are also a form of oral literature. Now, when we talk about written literature, as we have discussed, we have three major genres, that is poetry, prose, and drama. Now, each of these genres are further divided into subgenres, which in them are also a genre. What does it mean? That epic is a genre in itself and it is also a subgenre of poetry. मतलब एक एपिक जो है वो एक पोइटिकल जॉनर है, बट इट इज ऑल्सो अ सब जॉनर ऑफ पोइट्री. सो व्हाट अदर टाइप्स ऑफ पोइट्री डू वी हैव? वी हैव बैलेड, we have sonnet, we have lyric, and we have many other kinds of poetry. In prose, again, we have novel, novella, short story, and many others. In drama, we get comedy, tragedy, romances, etc. Next, we had to understand that what is poetry. So, the word poetry is derived from Greek word poesis. किस word से derive हुआ है? Poesis से. Poesis is a Greek word which means making. ठीक है? It is a type of literary genre which consists. Now, we have talked about Aristotle's rules, that there are certain rules that categorizes or defines a particular genre. Now what defines poetry? That it consists metrical structure, it has meter, it has tempo, it has rhythm. ठीक है, there is a sense of rhythm, एक लय है पोएट्री में, it is aesthetic, it is imaginative, it is creative, and has rhyming qualities. Now, what are rhyming qualities? For example, if you say a poetry, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall and Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So, wall and fall, these are the end words of these two lines. So, wall and fall are rhyming with each other, and this is called as rhyme. Next, we have that पोइट्री इज द ओल्डेस्ट जॉनर ऑफ लिटरेचर. ये एक बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन है. इट हैज बीन प्रीवियसली आस्क्ड इन सेवरल एमए entrance examinations, not particularly CUET but different ones. So this you need to remember, that poetry is the oldest form of literature. Next, we can see some definitions of poetry. Again, it is very important to understand poetry, and also it is very important from exam point of view, as there are some questions in which they directly ask or they take a part of the definition of any poet or any writer, and they ask that who has given this particular definition or who said this. So उस वजह से बहुत important है. First up we have again Aristotle. So Aristotle says that poetry is finer and more philosophical than history. So he compares poetry with history and he says that it is more fine, it is more refined, बहुत ज़्यादा fine है. Or philosophical, if we talk about philosophies, if we talk about philosophies of life, then poetry, he says that poetry is more philosophical than history. Why? Because poetry express the universal and history only the particular. हिस्ट्री की जब हम बात करते हैं, इट एक्सप्रेसेस और टेल्स समथिंग अबाउट मे बी अ पर्टिकुलर एरा, अ पर्टिकुलर टाइम पीरियड, राइट, और अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन ऑल्सो फॉर दैट मैटर. ठीक है, अ पर्टिकुलर पर्सन और अ पर्टिकुलर बैटल. ऑलराइट, ठीक है. So this is what history talks about. But when we talk about poetry, it says it expresses universal. Now, what way it expresses universal things, universal feeling? For example, if we talk about love, if we talk about hate, if we talk about sadness, if we talk about fantasy land, okay, these things do not express anything in particular. It does not talk about any one thing, that any one particular area or any one particular person, for that matter. In general, we are talking about. Okay? On this basis, Aristotle says that poetry is finer and more philosophical than history. Now, what kind of questions generally are asked from this? That they will give this line, that poetry is more philosophical than history. Who said that? ये क्वेश्चन आ सकता है. और they, what they can do, they will give poetry expresses universal and history only the particular. Who said this? So such questions are generally asked from definitions. Next definition we have is of William Wordsworth. This is again a very important definition. So he says that poetry is the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. Poetry किससे बनती है? It is a spontaneous, it is not planned, it is spontaneous. अचानक से एक overflow होता है when you are filled with such powerful emotion that it overflows you. And जब वो overflow होता है, जब वो excess होने लगता है, in that case you write poetry, in that case you create poetry. It takes origin from emotions recollected in tranquility. Now, tranquility you can understand means being alone or at peace or in silence. That is tranquility. So, what he means that William Wordsworth said you can only create poetry, or poetry comes when you are overflowing with any powerful emotion, but these emotions should be recollected in tranquility. आप भीड़ भाड़ में हैं, आप कहीं पे भी हैं, you are not at peace of your mind. In that case, you won't be able to write a good poetry, or in that case, you won't be able to create a good one. But now, when you're feeling any powerful emotion and you are sitting in peace and you are trying to write it, then in that case, you will be able to write a good poetry or create one very good quality of poetry. You can understand this from a very simple example. Just think that you are deeply in love with someone, okay, deeply in love with someone, and you are just overflowing with that love for that particular person. Now, if you want to express your love to them, you will sit down in a quiet area with peace of mind and you will remember about them. You will overflow, you will create that feeling inside you, and then when it overflows you, when it fills you up, In that case, you will start writing, and then you will be able to create a very beautiful poetry with which emotion? Of love. Now, this is an example of William Wordsworth's definition of poetry. This is just an example. Next up, we have poetry is not turning loose of emotions but an escape from emotion. It is not the expression of personality but an escape from personality. Now, this definition is given by T.S. Eliot. So, T.S. Eliot belonged to a different era, and William Wordsworth belonged to a different era, different time period. And if you see very carefully, you will find that both these definitions are contradictory to each other. तो अकॉर्डिंग टू विलियम वर्ड्सवर्थ, जहाँ पे इमोशंस, पावरफुल इमोशंस स्पॉन्टेनियसली ओवरफ्लो करते हैं, टीएस एलियट सेज दैट पोएट्री इज नॉट अबाउट टर्निंग लूज ऑफ इमोशंस बट इट इज एन escape फ्रॉम इमोशन, कि आपको वो एक escape प्रोवाइड करता है. what this escape means, for example, sometimes we are very stressed. What we do, we go and watch something. So what we are doing in this case, we are avoiding our stress and anxiety and fear and sadness by watching a particular movie. So आप क्या कर रहे हो, आप escape कर रहे हो अपने emotion से. In similar way, you can create a poetry that does not project your emotions. In case of definition of William Wordsworth, we generally see that these emotions come out from within. मतलब आपके personal emotions निकलते हैं. वहां पे टीएस एलियट क्या कह रहे हैं, doesn't have to be your emotions turning loose, you can escape from them completely. पोइट्री पढ़ने से, लिखने से आपको एक बिल्कुल ही सेपरेट इमोशन में आपको पहुंचा दे. इट इज नॉट एक्सप्रेशन ऑफ पर्सनैलिटी but an escape from personality. Means, if you're reading a poetry, if you're writing a poetry, you can completely present a different personality through your work, or if you can feel a different personality by reading someone else's poetry. So both these definitions of William Wordsworth and T.S. Eliot are contradictory, and these are, you can say, different approaches towards poetry of different people belonging to different era. तो ये बड़ा important point है. If a person is seeing poetry, or for that matter any literary genre, with a different lens from another person, it doesn't mean that they both are wrong. They may be contradictory, but they doesn't necessarily have to be wrong. वो दोनों different perspectives हैं, जो दोनों ही के ही okay हैं, दोनों के ही सही हैं. Next up, we have objective and subjective poetry. ऑब्जेक्टिव पोइट्री इज इम्पर्सनल पोइट्री. मतलब जब भी आप लिख रहे हो, यू आर बीइंग ऑब्जेक्टिव अबाउट इट, यू आर नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट पर्सनल इमोशंस. In subjective poetry is personal poetry, in which you are talking about your personal emotions. Next, we have in objective poetry, poets thoughts, personal thoughts and emotions are not revealed. अब वो इम्पर्सनल होके लिख रहा है, वो अपने एक्सपीरियंसेस से नहीं लिख रहा है. इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज ओन इमोशंस, इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट हिज ओन एक्सपीरियंसेस, which means that his emotions and thoughts are not revealed through the poetry. But on the other hand, if a poet is writing from his own emotions, if he is feeling that same emotions, then the poetry reveals thoughts and emotions of the particular poet. Next, we have poet finds inspiration from outside the world. In objective poetry, आप बाहर से inspiration ढूंढते हो. For example, if you see someone, a very small child doing work, that hits you, that you don't like it, and you seek inspiration from outside the world and you talk about it. Now, in subjective poetry, you take inspiration from within. For example, if you have jealousy towards anyone else, if you have love, if you have hatred towards anyone else, and you write from those experiences and emotions, the inspiration comes from within. So that is also one very big difference between objective and subjective poetry. The examples of objective poetry are ballad, epic, idyll, etc. And the examples of subjective poetry are elegy, ode, sonnet, etc. We will discuss more about these poetries in our later videos, and we will definitely cover them in our online course. Next is, what is prose? Prose can be said to be any work that is spoken or written that doesn't have a formal metrical structure. Now, if you remember that poetry, it was said that it is necessary to have a metrical structure, or it mostly does have a metrical structure. Prose में ये necessity cancel out हो जाती है. So prose doesn't have a metrical structure, and both fiction and non-fiction falls under this category. So prose के कितनी categories हो गई? We have two categories of prose, that is fiction and non-fiction. Next is we have prose is written in complete sentences organized in paragraphs. So prose क्या होता है? Complete sentences में लिखा जाता है. Normal, if you read an essay, if you read a newspaper article, all these things come under prose, and these are written in complete sentences and further organized into पैराग्राफ्स कि वो अलग अलग पैराग्राफ्स में डिवाइड किए जाते हैं. नेक्स्ट वी हैव इन प्रोज बोथ choice of words and their arrangement to form a meaningful sentence. ये बहुत important है. Doesn't necessarily mean that you choose very good beautiful words, fancy words or even simple words, but you place them wrong. उनका अरेंजमेंट आप अच्छे से नहीं कर पाते हैं, then this will create a flaw in your work. This will not help you create a good prose work. An individual's intellectual, emotional and aesthetic elements plays an important role in prose style. Prose style मतलब in what style you are writing prose is very important, because इसमें बहुत ज़्यादा metrical structure नहीं हो सकता है use. It is very different from poetry. So how you see the word, what is your intellectual level, how you process emotion, how, what is your take on emotions, what is your take on different things intellectually, what is your creativity, that is very very important in having a prose style, and it is very necessary in prose. Prose poem is basically a blend of two formats, that is poetry and prose. So prose के जो characteristics हैं and poetry के जो characteristics हैं, they are merged together to create a particular kind of work which is known as prose poem. Now how are they merged? So such works exhibit poetic quality using emotional effects, heightened imagery, but are all written in prose instead of verse. So the prose poems are written in prose, they are not written in verse, but the poetic qualities that are introduced in such poems are using emotional effects. Okay, very good quality emotional effects are used and heightened imagery. So imagery is basically a literary technique which is used by so many writers to introduce a literariness into their work. Now, what does this imagery do? Imagery allows the writer to create pictures in the mind of the readers through words. So आप कुछ इस तरीके का वर्ड सिलेक्शन करते हैं और इस तरीके से उनको अरेंज करते हैं that pictures of the particular thing that you are trying to say through words is created into the mind of the readers. So that is imagery. Next up, we have classification of prose. So, prose is basically categorized into two categories. First is fiction, and another one is non-fiction. So, fiction and non-fiction basic difference is that fiction uses imagination. All right. So, for example, if we are going to talk about, you can say unicorns. ठीक है, we know that they do not exist, they are basically a fantasy. We are going to talk about fantasy. If we are going to talk about, for example, floating mountains, all these things can be introduced in any fictional work but not in any non-fiction work. Non-fiction is unimaginative, वहाँ पे imagination का यूज नहीं होता है. These works ऑन फैक्ट्स. ठीक है, फैक्ट्स और ट्रूथ पे चलते हैं. जो बेसिक लाइज हैं जैसे कि यूनिकॉर्न्स दे डू इन टुडेज टाइम दे डू नॉट एग्जिस्ट, बट इन फिक्शनल वर्क दे कैन एग्जिस्ट, बट इन अ नॉन फिक्शनल वर्क दे कैन नॉट. सो वी कैन से द वर्क्स और लाइक न्यूज़पेपर आर्टिकल्स, ये आते हैं नॉन फिक्शन में. इफ यू राइट, इफ यू जर्नल, और जर्नल्स कम्स अंडर नॉन फिक्शन. यहाँ पे आप फैक्ट्स के बारे में बात करते हैं, नॉट the lies or imagination. So fiction is further divided into different genres. We know them as short story, novel, novella, etc. And non-fiction has other subgenres which we know as biography, journal, Memoir, autobiography is also a form of non-fiction, etc. Next up, we have our last major genre, that is drama. So originally the term drama came from Greek word meaning action or to do or to act. What is clear from this one line that the term drama is derived from a Greek word which means action. So which clears that drama is meant to be performed because ये जिस टर्म से लिया जा रहा है द टर्म ओनली डिस्क्राइब्स दैट इट मीन्स टू इनैक्ट समथिंग. ओके. A drama is a composition in verse or prose. In ancient times, when drama started, they were written basically in verse and were sung. A lot of part were sung through the chorus. इनको verse में लिखा जाता था, especially in blank verse. Okay, so blank verse basically allows you to write the closest to a prose writing. It is not prose, but it is very close to prose style. Blank verse was not always meant to be used in dramas, but the qualities of blank verse allowed it to be very beautifully fit into the word of drama or in the genre of drama. Next, it tells that it is a composition in verse or prose presenting a story. तो मतलब एक narrative होता है in pantomime. अब pantomime क्या है? Pantomime basically means expressing emotions through actions. You do not use words. Okay, so that is through actions. So if you want to express that you are sad, you need to use your face expressions, you need to use your hand gestures, body language, and present that emotion that you are sad. You cannot tell I am sad. Dialogue means conversation. So this difference is also due to the development of drama. Earlier drama were done in pantomime. Later on dialogue was introduced. मतलब conversations between characters were introduced later on through words. तो डायलॉग बाद में आया containing conflict of characters, particularly the one performing in front of the audience or the stage. So जो conflict term है यहाँ पे, अगर हम conflict term की particularly बात करें, so it is also said as the soul of drama because this is what keeps the reader intact. It is what keeps the interest of reader in the drama. conflict भी दो तरीके के होते हैं, एक inner conflict हो गया और एक हो गया outer conflict. सो इनर कन्फ्लिक्ट जो है इट इज विद इन द कैरेक्टर एंड आउटर कन्फ्लिक्ट इज बिटवीन कैरेक्टर्स. तो मतलब इनर कन्फ्लिक्ट सिंगुलर है, कैरेक्टर के अंदर होता है इन वन पर्टिकुलर कैरेक्टर, एंड आउटर आउटर कन्फ्लिक्ट इज बिटवीन डिफरेंट कैरेक्टर्स. अब ये इनर कन्फ्लिक्ट कई कैरेक्टर्स में हो सकता है, ठीक है. इट इज नॉट दैट कि एक कैरेक्टर में ही होगा, बट ये कन्फ्लिक्ट आता है through the thoughts, the dilemma of the characters, what actions he should take, what actions he shouldn't do. ये सारा conflict जो है that is called as inner conflict. And when there is a rift between two characters, that is known as outer conflict. All right. So and these characters are basically performing in front of the audience. So it is clear that a drama is a composition in verse or prose, दोनों में भी लिखा जा सकता है, किसी एक में भी लिखा जा सकता है, that presents a story in pantomime, in gestures or dialogues, containing conflict of characters, जो कि दो तरीके के हैं, again inner और outer. किन कैरेक्टर्स की कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स की बात हो रही है यहाँ पे? द कैरेक्टर्स दैट आर परफॉर्मिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ द ऑडियंस, दैट द कैरेक्टर्स दैट यू कैन सी, नॉट द कैरेक्टर्स दैट आर बिहाइंड द स्टोरी और दैट यू कैन नॉट सी परफॉर्मिंग इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. सो इनके कन्फ्लिक्ट को जब हम एक्शंस या डायलॉग्स के थ्रू प्रेजेंट करते हैं विद इन अ स्टोरी यूजिंग प्रोज और वर्ड्स, दिस इज नोन एज ड्रामा. So these are some basic qualities or you can say characteristics of drama that are very necessary. Drama is always written with the purpose of enactment of stage. मतलब ड्रामा हमेशा इनैक्टमेंट के पर्पस से ही लिखा जाता है, वो परफॉर्म करने के पर्पस से ही लिखा जाता है. ओनली closet drama, this is one kind of drama, only a closet drama is written to be read, No other form of drama other than closet drama is meant to just read. It is meant to be performed. The person who writes drama for stage directions is known as dramatist. So जो लोग ड्रामा लिखते हैं they are known as dramatists. From earliest times drama has been divided into two kinds. तो ड्रामा किस में further divided है? Tragedy and comedy. They are again two genres of drama. These are two oldest forms of drama. These are two oldest categories of drama. There are different other genres that we know today, that like absurd drama, sentimental drama, so many things. There are so many different kinds of drama that we will study in future videos and will definitely be covered in our online course. But the main two one are here is tragedy and comedy. Basic difference between tragedy and comedy is that tragedy is basically a sad story with a sad ending, and comedy is for humor. कॉमेडी में ह्यूमर होता है, इट इज फनी, इट हैज अ हैप्पी एंडिंग, एंड ट्रेजेडी एज द नेम सजेस्ट इट इज सैड और ट्रेजिक एंडिंग. बहुत ही बेसिक डिफरेंस है बिटवीन कॉमेडी एंड ट्रेजेडी. नेक्स्ट, another thing that you should know about tragedy and comedy, that if we talk about Greek drama, right, तो ग्रीक ड्रामा में ट्रेजेडी जो है डील्स विद द फेट ऑफ कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ हाई बर्थ एंड किंग एंड प्रिंसेसेस. तो मतलब नोबल कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में यहाँ पे बात हो रही है. नोबल कैरेक्टर्स, कैरेक्टर्स ऑफ हाई रैंक. एंड कॉमेडी डेल्ट विद नॉर्मल पीपल विच ऑफ लेस इंपॉर्टेंस, दैट इज कॉमन मैन. ठीक है, तो दिस वॉज वेरी बिग डिफरेंस इन ग्रीक ड्रामा. नाउ you need to know that English drama is very much derived from Roman and Greek drama. So a lot of characteristics of Roman and Greek drama you will find in English drama, especially in the early ages, which is till Renaissance. टिल रनेसा आपको बहुत ज़्यादा इन्फ्लुएंस किन्हीं किन्हीं चीज़ों में क्लियरली दिखेगा इन English drama. So that's all about this video. Thank you for watching. Make sure to follow us on YouTube and Instagram. To enroll in our CUET PG 2025 English Literature online course, WhatsApp us on 9696836433. I hope you found this video really informative, and we will cover all the syllabus. We will have mock tests, we will have previous year question papers which will be arranged in topics, and a lot of other informative stuff related to CUET PG English Literature preparation. So if you want to register in this course, make sure you WhatsApp us on the number given on the screen. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.